Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of Project Analysis Series. Good to see you guys. I'm back from my maternity leave and this is the first project that we are going to touch on. Hey, the last time we did an analysis was in March. It felt so long ago.
Recently, I think there isn't a lot of launch.
Yeah, there isn't. But moving forward, I think we are going to be super busy.
Yeah, so you'll see us very often because second and third quarter, there's so many launches coming up. And there's also some projects that's coming in the fourth quarter. So later we'll give you updates of what is coming.
Yeah.
But this is the first one to come in, I think, 3 months.
Yes.
Last one was OMG and Bloomsbury.
Yes, correct.
But now we'll have a mad rush of launches in the next 2-3 months, mainly focused in the central region. So today, what project are we going to talk about?
Robertson Opus.
Robertson Opus.
The only memory I have of this place is I used to go there and drink quite a bit because there's this shop called Kampai. The drinks there very
based
cheap.
on the hour.
But after I hit a certain age, then got earning power, I no longer go there already. So I mean, everyone should have your fair memory of this place.
There's wine connection. On top, there's a lot of restaurant. There's a lot of Japanese restaurant in this location. Now, they are all closed. You go down to the actual site, they are all closed. They are going to tear down in maybe 2 weeks to a month time. So if you really miss this area, you can go back and visit. So what is going to happen here is that this is actually a development that belongs to Fraser and Sikisui. Now they are going to tear down and rebuild the whole thing. So it's not a GLS, it's not an en bloc, it's just that they own the place. They are going to redevelop the whole place by themselves.
Yep, that's right. So this is sitting on the freehold land. So right now what you are seeing on the screen is just some artist's impression of this place. Frankly, looks quite enticing lah.
So if you have visited River Valley, this is actually in the heart of River Valley. If you have seen River Valley, there's a lot of condo that come with like very light tone, very brownish tone, which is a bit more different from what we are having now. Because if you go into River Valley now, like Martin Modern, like Avenir, they're all dark tone. So in fact, some of the people is telling me this one feels like it will stand out because something that is very different. It's not the very high-rise type of building that we are talking about. So what is the specs of the projects?
Project info wise, we are expecting 348 units. For this development, right, it ranges from the suites, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, and 4 bedroom. Somehow the bigger units like the 3 and 4, they are on a lower supply side. So we'll run through that later. And expected TOP will be 2030, might be earlier.
Right. So it's 999 in District 9, 340 units, and there's a 26 estimated unit of shop below. So we will explain a bit more on the site plan because there's some differences that we are going to see. So where is it exactly located? You can see from here, this is the site.
Over here is the Fort Canning MRT, so it's actually quite a walking distance. But for this plot, I don't think there will be a lot of like good view lah, because left, right, center is all blocked. So we won't be expecting great view. The unit selection that we are going through today is not a lot on the view per se.
Definitely no view. Definitely. But if you look at the site and the location, you can say that this is actually very well located. Why would I say so? 999 walking distance to Fort Canning MRT is very rare. Usually 999 freehold, a decent sized development, they are not near MRT. Second thing, you are actually a short walk to the Singapore River, which a lot of people will do the exercise, everything there. So it's really a nice place that you can live in. So it's a place that is near offices, near all the workplace, but yet when you come home, you feels like this is out of your office. So I definitely think this is actually a good place for own stay. I mean, even for ourselves, when we go there, River Valley will be one of the locations that we really want to stay.
Yeah, but I think one thing when developer do this kind of like rebuilding, right? Because right now the River Valley vibe before they did do this rebuilding is quite nice lah. I just hope that the developer will not
keep it
lose that feeling, that vibe.
You mean the shop?
Yeah, like very nice. After like evening, you can go and walk around. So I hope because of this rebuilding, it won't kill off that part.
If we put it this way, we don't know what's going to happen to open. But you still have your piers. You still have your UE Square. You still have all the places that is
But
there.
the main shops, the main walking area, that feeling. Yeah. The last time the Upper Bukit Timah, the King Albert Park area, the old McDonald's. So now no more. Then the entire vibe changed to become a bit dead.
You know what is the difference?
That area, no tourists go.
No, because King Albert Park is, when they bought, I think it's by Oxley. So they bought the whole building, they tear down, they rebuilt, the residential and the commercial, and they sell the commercial component. They don't, and they promise to have an anchor tenant like NTUC or what, and it didn't
But it didn't happen.
So the owners all sue off it for that.
Oh.
So until now, no supermarket. So what happened was that there's one guy who is the eagle eye who came in and they bought a lot of shops. They go and build the cinema. They bring in a lot of brands to bring in that area but it's not well planned in the first place. But today here we are under who? We are under Fraser. So definitely I think there will be some key differences because Fraser, they are very good in building shopping malls. And from what I understand, they are not selling the shops. From what I understand, but I've not heard any updates. But if this is going to happen, which means they are also going to bring in the brands that
they have been working with, like the pre-existing
tenants, or they will bring in new crowd, but they will definitely screen through all these things because when it's individual owner, we don't screen through. You can give me my rental, I faster let you take already. I don't care who you are. You want to open maid agency, you want to open money changer, I also let you do it. But here there will be some control because it will affect the overall rent.
That's really good to hear because I feel that if that part is not well taken care of, it will affect the entire vibe, maybe even the profitability this area.
So I think this site we are still quite safe to say. So this is the site plan and the unit mix.
For the small units, you can see, right, it takes up a lot of the inventory. The big units are quite low in supply. So my concern is that because there's a lot of small units, will we be expecting a lot of tenant with such unit mix?
I would say definitely good chance. But what kind of tenants we are looking for? Honestly, in River Valley, we are getting a lot of expatriate.
And their families.
Even the small units, they are getting single guy or single lady who is coming in to work in the CBD area, which is all the white collars. So in terms of tenants wise, I think it's still quite okay. But of course, I do see something that is very different for this development. There's total of 5 blocks. Block 7, Block 9, Block 11, Block 13, and Block 15. So 17 is actually the pool area. So total of 5 blocks. But these 4 blocks, 7, 9, 11, and 13, they are all normal blocks. Where all the big units are housed there. The 2-bedroom, the 3-bedroom, the 4-bedroom. And this block is mostly housed the 1-bedroom, suites, and the 2-bedroom, which is the B1. Later, we are going to mention this a lot more. And the special thing is only this block will have higher ceiling. I think about 3.2 to 5 meter. So it's slightly higher than the rest. Usually, we will give the better specs, all these things to the bigger units. But I think why they want to do this is suites is already a bit smaller. So when you have higher ceiling, it makes you look a bit bigger. Do take note if you are looking to buy this development, Block 15 is the only one that have the highest.
Yes, and quite interestingly, right, for this development also, there are different types of collection. We have got the premium, we have got the luxury, and we have got the legacy. So the main thing over here is the use of the material and the appliances that they provide.
So in short, premier collection and the luxury collection, the finishes are almost similar, just different tone color. So like the premier collection, you have light stone look like large format tiles. But for the luxury one, it's a bit more beige. I personally feel that premier one is a bit difficult to maintain. If you go to the SHOWFLAT, you'll know. So if you go to the SHOWFLAT, you'll see there's a suites SHOWFLAT, which is showing you the premier collection materials that they're giving. And there's a 2-bedroom layout that they're showing you the luxury collection. And on top, the 3-bedroom, there's a legacy collection, which is the marble flooring one. So 3 different things that you need to take note, which is the different blocks that is being labeled here. If you want me to put it short, very simple. Block 15, premium. Block 9, legacy. The rest, all luxury. Just as simple as that. So it's easier for you to remember.
We wanted to touch on this because before even YouTube video analysis was popular, right? Based on the past launches or maybe the condos in the past, nobody will know what kind of collection there is within the project. Only people that has been there on the day one of sale will know. But right now, because of all this information that's available to you instantly, so you can always look back if you were to purchase this property down the road.
Correct. Because your decision can be affected by this. I put it simple. For example, there's a 2-bedroom here, the B1 layout, and there's also 2-bedroom here. Can I also choose between these two based on the finishes that I'm getting? Possible. I mean, these are some of the things that we want to take note. And here high ceiling, here no high ceiling. So these are the things that we will talk about. Not all developments come into such details because a lot of developments, they are just giving the same thing throughout the whole development also, same ceiling height, whichever. But in this development, Opus, because it's more towards the high-end River Valley area, they are focusing a lot of
material
fine details
finishing,
also.
yep.
So today we will be focusing a lot on that.
Yes.
But before we move to that, I just want to highlight the unit mix. The 1-bedroom and the suites, there's 80 units. The 2-bedroom, there is total of about 150 units. So you can see the majority are all there. And there's a 3-bedroom flexi, which we will focus on later to tell you. There's 45 units. The really 3 and 4 livable one, you can see 64 3-bedroom plus 9 of 4-bedroom. So only 73 units of the livable 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom.
So suite and 1-bedroom, we actually categorize it together. For the suite, it's 431 square feet. I don't know why they want to categorize it this way, but I mean, to me, it's the same. They belong to the same group lah. So suites itself, we have got 2 different kind of layout. As you can see over here, right, quite hard to spot the difference between the 2 layout. It's only this corner over here. You can see that the building wall is a bit like protruding out. Other than that, no difference. Yeah, and it's all external facing. They belong to the top 15, which is external facing with high ceiling of 3.225. Okay, now on to the next one, 1-bedroom. 1-bedroom is a bit bigger than the suite. Is 495 square feet. All the 1-bedroom are internal facing. So in terms of the price range, which we'll work out for you in a bit. In terms of the price range, the 1-bedroom will have maybe a bit of a higher per square foot. But then again, because whatever view that you take here is all block, so ideally we will actually prefer the suite. Now, onto the supply of the 1-bedroom. Most of the time when we sell 1-bedroom, our future buyer will be like the investors, right? So a lot of them will be concerned about rental yield. But do you think that it makes sense to buy a freehold project for rental yield?
So I think one of the key things that we always think about when we want to buy something, we need to know who is going to buy from us in future. So the person buying from us in future, what are the things they are looking for? And that's one of the key things. That's the demand. So when we want to buy a property, there's 2 things that we look at. One is supply, one is demand. Demand is a bit more difficult to determine because demand, you need to be on the ground, talking to owners, talking to buyers, understanding what are they looking for. If you serve a lot of River Valley buyers, 1-bedroom, you'll know what are they looking for, why they want to buy this location, mainly for own stay or for investment. Like example here, we are talking about Marina Bay area. What are they looking for? Usually they are more for rental purposes. So it's based on experience to understand the demand is from it. In certain areas, we know there's certain type of units, there's huge demand because people here are all looking for this kind. But supply is easier to see. Supply is very simple. I just look at how many units are in the market or how many units are in total. In terms of Marina Bay area, we have done our calculation. Total of 2,800 units for these 4 developments add together. We haven't add those that is upcoming like OMG, all this. So Marina Bay Suites, there's nothing. Marina Bay Residence 126, 458, 437. So we just take this 36%, which is 1,000 units out of 2,800, which is 36% of Marina Bay units are 1-bedroom. So in fact, looking at this, can I say supply of 1-bedroom in Marina Bay is very high.
Quite high.
It's quite high lah.
Correct.
Honestly, 36% are quite scary lah.
Yeah, it will be very competitive lah if you put out on sale.
So now we look at River Valley. Is out of 2,174 units, only 257 is 1-bedroom. We are taking freehold 999 more than 300 units projects in this D9 region. So we are taking this as an example. So only 12%. And looking at this, Joy, can I say it's very clear River Valley is a better choice for 1-bedroom?
Yes, correct. Because the supply is lower for the 1-bedroom.
Versus 12 So 12 easier to sell lah, definitely. Because everybody always tell me, hey, you buy in Lentor, you buy in Zion, you buy upcoming Zion plot. So many units got oversupply here. Correct or not? I mean, this is what a lot of people have been thinking. And is it really the fact that this is happening? Because here, 36%, here 12%, definitely Marina Bay is much higher in supply. And this is what is going to happen in the whole River Valley. Not enough supply of 1-bedroom. Upcoming, there's quite a number that is coming. But we want to understand one thing. Is supply going to affect your rental, which is going to affect your sales price? Because one bedroom, the most important thing is your rental yield.
Yes. So does having a lot of supply means that the rental yield is
Lower.
not better?
Yeah, because supply come in means that there's a lot of competition. Then you affect your correct? Affect you affect your sales price.
Correct.
Because most of buyers buying one bedroom, even in River Valley, definitely there will be higher percentage buying for own stay, but there will still be a good percentage buying for rental. Correct?
Yeah.
So now we see, this is Marina Bay. Remember, this 36% supply of one bedroom. This is River Valley, 12% supply of one bedroom.
So logically speaking, we expect to have higher rental yield for an area with lower supply of one bedroom, right?
Yes.
But right now, what our numbers is telling us is that Marina Bay have got a higher yield than River Valley.
Yes. So it's a higher yield based on that. You'll say, no lah, because River Valley, you all buy freehold, you all buy 999, the price you buy higher 1.6, 1.7, 1.9 million, but the rest I buy 1.3, 1.5 lower But you look the data, the average rental for one bedroom is significantly higher in Marina Bay, even though there's 36% one. So what I'm trying to tell you here, supply is important? It's important. But we need to understand the area demand. And I buy in an area that extremely high demand for one bedroom, but there isn't a lot of supply. There's still also a lot of supply for one bedroom, but the demand is so high. Is it okay?
Yes, it's okay.
I buy in an area, no supply one bedroom, but the demand is even worse. Is it okay? Of course, we want to find somewhere high demand, low supply, but the demand will be not so easily determined. So those that's watching this video now, you need to really check with your agents or anybody that know the market on the ground. This type of thing cannot just check online to understand what type of demand is in that area. You really need to go down to the ground to understand. Based on experience, after serving a lot of tenants and the buyers and the landlords and the sellers, then you know what type of people are looking for what help. In short, what we are trying to tell you here is River Valley one bedroom, not the best.
Still not bad lah, you know. But if you want to buy for rental yield, we have other options.
You might as well buy Marina Bay lah.
Even though there's a lot of high supply, however, the demand matches what they're looking at.
So you see, very simple. Usually, all the projects nowadays 3 bedroom sell first, 2 sell first, or 1 bedroom.
Bigger one lah.
Now the trend is 3 bedroom.
Yes.
But you go and see OMG. 1 bedroom left or less than 20 units. So why? You see the sales, you will know. Even though 36%, but they're still buying one. So these are the things. But here, River Valley, we will talk a bit about the suites, but it's not the best preference. So now we look at the suites.
So just now, as I mentioned earlier, right, the suites are all external facing. And then the one bedroom, we have got internal and external facing. So over here, we actually do the math for the suites, right? We use a 3002 PSF to gauge what is the quantum, and it works out to be about 1.38 million. And if we look at the one bedroom, we use a slightly higher PSF because it's internal facing. But like we said earlier, there isn't going to be any view even if you were to face internal or external. So I think not much difference. And most importantly is the cheaper or the safer entry price. So for the one bedroom, you see, it's 1.6. 1.6, what can you get?
We compare here first. Later we can show you what else we can be looking at. But if you look at the one bedroom, what is the difference? The main difference is wider area so that you can fit in a wall for a proper living room. For this, you're paying 230,000. I definitely wouldn't recommend, because you must remember, for 64 square feet for 3,002 per square foot, every square feet increment is a lot of difference.
It's too much already.
Yeah, but later on, the 3 bedroom, we will pay a lot more, even 500,000 more for a bigger unit is okay.
Because of the future resale buyer profile.
Correct. And what you are getting. So you have to be very specific. Like, I buy already, can I feel a significant difference between the suites and the one bedroom? So here, where's the significant difference? It's only you got a proper living. Because the kitchen, the suites is wider than the one bedroom.
The suite is more like a studio.
Suites is more like a studio. But because of the size, I still try to maintain the price at acceptable range. But I don't know, 3.2 is just the estimated price that we are giving. I think they may be higher. We will see how. So recommended is suites in open.
If we need to make a decision. However, one thing we want to point out is that the upcoming plot in the River Valley area, the compact 2 bedroom is actually only 527 square feet.
And this is leasehold? 99.
Next to MRT.
Yeah, so leasehold, that's why our per square foot we put it a bit lower.
So the quantum is worked out to be 1.475.
It's based on 2008 starting price, which means that 94,000 you can get 2 proper bedroom. Because this one is no bedroom, 2 proper bedroom for $94,000. And if you're talking about rental, I definitely think River Green will have a much higher rental. So what we are trying to say here is, if you are buying the suites of Opus at Robertson for rental, I do not think it's the best option. But if you really love that location, you really love the 999 title, you really love that you're so near to the river, then I think this is something that you can consider with all the shops and the lifestyle that you're getting in Robertson area. It's more for own use. If you really want to look at Robertson at Opus, definitely a lot of time is for own stay. But just touching on a bit of River Green here, we are going to have a lot more videos coming up soon about all the Zion plots, all the 4 plots, which I'm going to do a lot of cross comparison for you to tell you if you're buying for this purpose, where should you go? If you're buying for that purpose, where should you go? Things like that. So keep a lookout for our videos coming up for the whole Zion area.
It's on the 2-bedroom, and as the 2-bedroom, there is a lot of layout. The 2-bedroom here comes with all a 2-bed 2 bath, and there is only one which is 2 plus study. So right now, if we look at the first 2-bedroom, this is the smallest 2-bedroom, 689 square feet. And this is the only dumbbell layout. Other than the 2 plus study that comes with a dumbbell, this is the other dumbbell layout. So in terms of the supply, when it hits the resale market, this layout, people will remember better as compared to the others, because the others are all compact. Okay, this is all external facing. If you can see the map or the site plan over here.
But one of the key advantage of this dumbbell layout is what?
Efficiency.
I get almost the same size. I only buy a space of 689. Although we always advocate that if you want to buy 999, you want to buy freehold, you need to buy a decent size. But of course, the size need to be
usable. Because afterwards, when we show you the other 2-bedroom, right, you will realize why is this dumbbell layout the much more preferred one.
And the key thing, why the size is important, because let's say if there is a certain saving on the size, like the next size is about 32 square feet difference. Like what we told you earlier, based on 3,300 per square foot, this is already 100,000 savings. The per square foot that is high on Robertson and Opus because of the 999 lease in River Valley area. Any saving on size is a huge significant in the savings of the price that we are buying. So that's why it's important.
Yeah, maybe just let me touch on the 2-bedroom, the layout first. It's a dumbbell, as we shared earlier. You will notice that all the walls here are not your PVC because it's a rebuilding. And then for the kitchen-wise, it's enclosable, and this part over here, it is glass, which means there will be sufficient light coming into the unit. The unit will not be very dark. This is important to note because subsequently when you see the other layouts, it's mostly kitchenette, which means not enclosable at all.
Correct.
So move on to the next 2-bedroom. This is a 710 square feet 2-bedroom, second smallest 2-bedroom. For this layout is one of the classic one where all the bedrooms are tucked in one side. This one, when you come into the unit, right, this is your kitchenette along. So it's along the walkway, and then you have your proper bedrooms over here and here. As you can see, it is like what you mentioned earlier, a bit bigger in size in terms of the square feet. It adds up to a lot of difference because the per square foot is actually 3,000 to or even higher.
So 710 and 689 is 21 square feet difference. But honestly, if you see the actual unit, the 689 might look better, but you are paying about 70,000 more just for that. So the most preferred number one choice, later we will tell you, but like between these two, 689 is definitely more preferred. But just now, Joy highlighted one thing is that the wall is hackable. I want to highlight one very important thing. First thing is non-PVC, so the wall is hackable for some places. Second is non-harmonized. The aircon latch is counted into this square feet. Because in today's context, some projects harmonized, some is not. So first thing first, you need to find out whether the project is harmonized. Then you will know that the space that you're getting is how usable.
So long it's government land sale, I would
Confirm
say
harmonized.
all harmonized. Yeah. So long it's an en bloc or such like rebuild case. Rebuild is quite rare, but when in such case, it is not harmonized. So don't be mistaken.
So there's only 9 units of this. Then next will be the B1 and B4, which is the 721 square feet. Which you can see these 2 units look like the same.
But it's not the same.
What is the key difference? First thing, the kitchen is slightly bigger here. This is slightly smaller.
Got a window.
The walkway is, I think, a bit longer. Is it?
We don't have the
We
measurement
don't have the
as of
measurement,
now.
yeah.
Lah. This is just our estimation.
But the key thing here, window. Here, no window, no window, no window. Why? Because this is the B1 layout in the premium block, which is the light color finishing. And they are at the suites and one bedroom block, and they are on the corner one. So the suites and one bedroom in the middle, the two bedroom become the premium unit at the corner, which means the corner one will have all the windows
This
there.
one should be quite nice because also got high seat.
Yes.
Yeah,
So this one
actually
also
quite
comes
livable.
with 3.225, right? Also quite livable. In this development, we don't base on just layout or whichever to recommend. We also base on the finishing, the ceiling height, all these things, then tell you what the price that we'll pay for it. And this 721, another one which is also quite good, but it's in the luxury block. That's why it's more in the middle units. That's why there's no window. But if you look, these two units are very similar. It's just that this one have slightly more advantage for the premier
Similar
unit.
but a lot of difference. I personally
on the
feel.
window lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only that, but it's just the ceiling height and everything.
Yes.
The overall feel is very different.
Okay.
Next one, also the 721. So similar to the layout previously. This one is a kitchenette. There is no enclosable kitchen. So basically you are paying for the additional, because this foyer, right, is quite long.
But this window don't know for what. But this one still got some advantage. This is the second unit. The toilet got window.
Because again, it's at the corner, ma.
So kitchenette, I don't know if I close up, if I don't close up, where do I put my dining? This is one question that I've been asking. This too, the kitchenette is a bit of a problem. You are in a 999 project where most people, even 2-bedroom, they buy for own stay. So might not be the most preferred.
I do agree that the dining is a shared area with the kitchen. Don't have a designated dining area. And last but not least, the 2-bedroom plus study, 743 square feet. This 2-bedroom,
Look like the 689.
yes, except that 689 don't have the study area.
This one, this area. 743 minus 689.
The downside is that they don't have windows, lah.
Yes, same as 689. I mean, if you're looking at 6, this is another one that you can consider.
Oh, but the price difference a lot, just for the study space. How
So
much?
54 square feet multiplied by 3,003. Wow. How much?
Yeah.
178k. So
Yeah.
170k difference for this study room. I leave it to your
You can
preference.
see.
Now we'll do the recommendation of the top few choices of 2-bedroom that we'll recommend. Top choices, B1.
The 721 square feet, because this one is the one with the high ceiling, and then we have got all the windows in the right place. And also very well ventilated and bright kitchen.
Yes. So all of you that is watching this video, don't remember by the size of the unit, because there is 4 types of 721 in total. Remember, B1 premium block, the one that is with the suites and the 1-bedroom. Don't care even if you got a lot of suites 1-bedroom in your block, because this one come with the high ceiling of 3.225 and the kitchen and the bath all got window. So your unit will definitely be much brighter and much well ventilated. The only setback is what? Only setback is your tiles is on the lighter tone one, which I think personally it will be a bit easily stained. So that's one thing. We want to tell you at what price we'll go for the 689 and what price we'll go for 721. Because I think the 721 high chance will have a premium in terms of the per square foot because of this 3.225 meter and corner unit for the 2-bedroom. Okay, my take is like that. So let's say this one is 3,003. This is 3,250. We take this calculation.
This one will be
2.379.
2.379. The other one is 2.239.
2.239. So the difference is 140k based on this. I readjust up this one to 3,350. The difference will become 175k. So $100 difference per square foot and $50 different per square foot. Definitely, I think in this range, I will still go for this because you definitely have a huge advantage. But anything exceed $100 per square foot or anything exceed 200,000 premium, I would definitely maybe think about going for the 689.
So your threshold will be a difference of $100
per square foot. If you want to push it further, it's 200,000 difference. But depending on the floor level. So if they are same per square foot, faster chunk the 721 with the premium. Your same per square foot, the difference will be about $110,000.
But then again, there is one more problem. Remember earlier we shared about the River Valley area. So you want to make a guess, River Green, the first plot to be launched, the 3-bedroom, the size. I believe if some of you have been monitoring now, you should have some info about that. The 3-bedroom there is actually
786 square feet for a 3-bed compact.
if I were to do the math, if I use 2,008 per square foot and we multiply the size of the River Green smallest 3-bedroom, it's 2.2. Then here we are buying same price for a 2-bedroom.
It's 2.3. Why we want to bring up this? We are not here to compare and say which one is better, which one is not good. But we want to say these things because I think this is definitely in all your brain thinking. If I come here 2.3, a lot of people telling you River Green 3-bedroom is 2.2, 2.3. That might as well go for River Green, right? So I just want to highlight this thing. Do remember, a buyer that is buying Opus and a buyer that is buying River Green. And just now 1-bedroom, I will say River Green better because that group of people buying Opus 1-bedroom and River Green 2-bedroom is the same group of people who is buying for investment. Same group. 1-bedroom Opus buyer also invested. But a 2-bedroom Opus buyer is mainly for own stay. So definitely the River Green 786 and 721 Opus 2-bedroom will be two group of people. These people who come for 721 Opus will definitely not go for River Green. The people who are attracted to River Green 786 will definitely not come to Opus because they think that, wow, this price I cannot.
Correct.
But people who are coming here, they appreciate because they want 999, they want to stay, they want to have the convenience, everything. So it's very different group of people. People who are going for River Green, more of looking at the price point. They want a good entry price, maybe budget, they have some constraint, but they want to come into
looking to something in the prime area. Basically, it's two different target audience we are going for. So do not worry about your exit plan.
Don't be so affected by the River Green upcoming prices. This is what I'm trying to tell you if you have concern. But if you are buying the 1-bedroom in Opus, this is something that you have to be concerned because of the two compact prices in River Green. But in terms of the 2 and the 3, don't need to be so concerned because I definitely dare to tell you, people who want to buy here in resale will never visit River Green. People who visit River Green in resale will definitely not visit Opus. So just two different set of people that is coming here.
So now on to the 3-bedroom. 3-bedroom, we have got the 3-bedroom flexi. Quite a bit of a layout for this one. 926 square feet and this is the 980 square feet. If you look at the layout, frankly, I feel all the layouts here quite nice, as in like livable in terms of space. The only difference with this C1S, which is the smallest 3-bedroom, is that they do not have balcony in the master. The rest of the flexi layout, they do have balcony in the master. So, balcony important.
Important if you are facing the sea.
But this one, you got nowhere to face, so we don't think it is very
Maybe this
important.
unit, like example, this unit still okay, you still see the pool. This one, I don't know, the balcony is very close to here, this unit.
I wouldn't buy
So
I
you
mean,
wouldn't.
because it's not a usable space.
It's a usable space, but you wouldn't use.
Then after that, we have got a proper dining area. I mean, the rest are really pretty much the same, I would say.
Just explain a bit more about the whole layout. You can see that actually, to be honest, the flexi layout, I really think that is very nice for something to build own stay unit like that. Because all the proper things we have, the window we always talk about. But one more key thing, the flexi area got window. And this flexi wall can hack. So if this flexi wall hack, means that your dining can stretch into this area with a window here. If you don't want, you just seal up the flexi, it becomes a study. Then if this one hack, which means that your dining area will be very wide and nice. You can easily see in that 8 to 10 seater.
But the downside is only 9 units for almost each type. It costs only one stack.
Yeah, but there's a lot. So there's 926, 980. There's 1012, 1023, 1044. What is the difference?
Balcony.
The 1012, 1023, 1044 all got 2 balcony. This is the same type as the 980, but the key difference, the foyer is longer. So this one is longer. So you see this one, no foyer. These two, no foyer. So that's the key difference. Of course, I would prefer to buy the one without the foyer, without the balcony. But are you able to get a unit there? Are you able to get a good queue to get the unit? This is the things that you want to talk about. Next, we have the dual flex.
Dual flex. When we were discussing at one glance, right, I thought this was a dual key. We think, trying to convert into a dual key.
Cannot convert. Yeah, I go to the SHOWFLAT, I see here, see left, see right.
Because a lot of wiring, right? Because of the aircon units.
Wiring is one thing. But the key thing is, I tell you where's the aircon zone. Here there's one aircon unit. On top. Here there's one aircon unit. So this aircon unit, this second one is very problematic. Because if I want to build a dual key, I have to seal it up here. I build one more door here, correct? Here one door, here one door. So that this unit and this unit is 2 separate units. Even though here, the bedroom 2 side don't have the kitchenette, but I think dual key, sometimes people don't really use kitchenette a lot.
Yes.
You can put a fridge here for them
Little
or whichever. But the
walkway.
problem is aircon will blow this walkway, but this whole area no aircon. This aircon cannot blow until here. So cannot become dual key. And to do this, need to spend quite a lot of money. Need to build 2 doors, need to build the wall. So not so flexible for dual key. Yet, own stay also feels a bit weird.
Because 3-bedroom,
I must have an enclosable kitchen.
I mean, that's the best lah. But they were telling us that River Valley area people don't cook lah. But I think still need to cook. Sometimes still need to have date night. You go and cook or whichever.
the supply of these 2 dual flex layout quite a lot.
Yeah. Don't want to talk too much about this. Later we'll tell you a bit more. There's 2 C6 and C7. Difference is what?
4 year, yeah.
Same thing. So that's all about this.
The upside for this dual flex is that if really we need to rent it out as like a 1-bedroom and a 2-bedroom separately, right? The rental is quite decent lah. Given the purchase price,
Using the 3002 PSM and then the 990 square feet.
If we can rent out, I mean, we are taking the surrounding rental, we can get about
surrounding
9,000
rental
plus,
can be higher. We have seen
up to
higher ones.
10,000 plus.
Can-
So 3.6 to 4% yield. So to explain a bit, just now we say cannot do a key, but this one we can do as co-living. So what do I mean by co-living? Very simple. I just block off here and block off here. But I do aircon here. Or I don't block off here. I just block off this side. So that this one become a 2-bedroom. This become a common space. And then if I want, because there's a door here, this leads to my room, I can block off here. So the toilet will be inside. Which means that this is a 1-bedroom. This is the 2-bedroom. This is the common co-living space. So I rent out as 2 units, but not dual key, as a co-living space. So there's a different way that we can do it. And minimum renovation. And the aircon is still there for you to use because everything is protected. But we will get 3.6 to 4% yield, which is decent, very nice. But I can tell you honestly, even if you get 4% yield, it will be extremely difficult for you to sell because there isn't a lot of buyers. There's 3-4 million range one come in and buy for rental yield. These buyers, emotional one, I would logically go and pay 3 million to buy a 4% rental yield.
I could get the same rental yield at a cheaper entry price.
So if you are someone who need a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom, but you prefer someone to stay with you at the co-living space, you buy, you block off, you stay with that person, you rent out. So I buy already, I rent out the 1-bedroom 4,000. We have someone staying in the same house.
For 4,000, would you rather rent a dual flex unit or you rather rent a proper 1-bedroom here?
Proper 1-bedroom. But this one co-living, you have to sell this point. The 1-bedroom is like that. My one is here plus here is co-use. Different. The difference is I got a big living and dining area co-use. Correct. So this is a difference. But I think 4,000 doable. If not preferred. Okay. We go to the best preferred.
So this 3-bedroom premium, initially when I saw this layout, I thought that the balcony is a bit of a wasted space because the balcony is actually shared between the big room and also the living. But after that, I just thought actually there is a lot of ways to reconfigure this 3-bedroom premium. If we don't need the 3rd bedroom, which I mean the big room over here, we can just remove this wall. We can have a landscape living area and you will have 2-bedroom and we also have the flexi over here which can act as
a 3rd small bedroom.
Yeah, because for storage, we actually got a home shelter. And you did mention something about the kitchen, right?
This layout, you go and see the SHOWFLAT is on the 2nd floor. Everything is in. Finishing is marble flooring. The rest of things is perfect. The only thing is that if you hack, there's one small beam here. If not, this whole area will be open up, correct? Open up. So your living will look extremely big when you sell. If you want to sell as a big 2-bedroom, or if they want to reinstate into a 3-bedroom, just put in a wall is easier. If you want to sell as a 2-bedroom, or you want to stay as a 2-bedroom, you host your guests, your living room is extremely big. And one more thing, if you go to a SHOWFLAT, you'll realize, and you can see from the floor plan, there's 2 glass panels here, there's 3 glass panels here. Which means if I really want to cook, I close up the whole place, this will become my kitchen. Or I can cook properly. But if I want to host my guests, I open up this whole thing. This will become my dry kitchen. And my kitchen whole place will become part of the place that
integrated into the entire living area.
Like my friends, my guests, everything.
Very nice.
So I will have one big square to host. River Valley, I tell you, People here is lifestyle living. Maybe their friends come over for drinks. This is really a good unit for all these things. You still have your big master bedroom. And this flexi, what can we do? I can tell you one more thing. There's a window here. I seal up this door. I push the door out here. This one can become my walk-in wardrobe, which I can put in other stuff here like my dressing table or whichever. So it's going to be a perfect layout unit, especially for this River Valley area. I can tell you, this one, next time, you will have no problem selling. A lot of people will be finding units like that in this location. But the only problem is, of course, the purchase price that you're going in. So how much you can make. But the key thing is, you won't be short of buyers. And the supply, there's only 18 plus 9 units. And just now what we mentioned, like Marina Bay, supply high, but demand high. Higher than supply. This one is supply low, plus demand is high for this type of unit in River Valley. So I can tell you, there's a very good chance you will make money. It's only that 999 projects, because of the purchase price that enter, sometimes you need to hold a bit longer.
I think also one more thing, if let's say they have this thing in, it'll be perfect, which is the private lift. It will make it even more grand.
Correct. But there isn't. So it's 152, stack 11 and 12, and stack 10. 11 and 12 is facing outwards. I would prefer 11 and 12.
We are focusing a lot on own stay factor. So for this one, we're definitely going for the biggest, which is the 3-bedroom premium. Okay. Then our second choice will be, of course, the most compact one, because it entails everything, and if you need the safest entry price into this area, you can go for this unit, right?
And this one lists it down by the size 926, 980, then 1012. Go for the smallest one. But what's available, you grab what is available. But from the smallest to the biggest, because the size that you're paying more, like the 1012 versus the 926,
it's on the foyer.
It's on the foyer, and the balcony is space that you're not going to use. So first choice is definitely 926. But if you go in 926 no more, then what should you do? Go for the next one.
So this is what Alex meant earlier regarding the supply of the 3-bedroom here. There are a lot of developments here, but right now, as of this moment, available in the market for sale, only 29 units. We haven't even included the fact that maybe some of these units are duplicated. So the supply is extremely low for the River Valley area.
And if you can see, Rivergate, which is not a very new development, is maybe 12, 15 years old. Urbania is the new one. Aspen Heights is a very old development.
UE Square as well.
And their starting price for a 3-bedroom, 4.22, 4.35. We are talking about a new one. Aspen is a bit older, 3.19 million. So just now we already said 1152 in the whole Opus, there isn't much unit. In the whole River Valley, there isn't much. And the demand for this type of unit is very high. And when that happens, what is going to happen? The seller will have the power to demand for higher price. For ridiculous price sometimes also, but you want to achieve ridiculous price, you need to wait until
you need a longer runway.
Not that I just put out then. Here I know there's no supply and there's a lot of demand. There is a chance I put ridiculous price, I still can sell. There is a chance because there isn't supply coming.
You might be the only one or two selling at one point.
Correct. So you might make good amount of profit. Plus, of course, you must love this area, stay in this area. So the 4-bedroom. Really nice also.
Yes, I love the layout as well. Same thing, the balcony is shared between the living and the bedroom 4. So if you want to, you can actually again remove this wall over here, and this space is damn good because you actually got already got a dedicated dining area. And this one you also got the junior master on the side over here.
Then you have a proper built-in wardrobe, like just now when I mentioned the flexi area. This is the example that I show you. So this layout look a bit like the 3-bedroom. It's going to be very similar, only 9 units. A 4-bedroom is going to be even more rare. In the whole region, there isn't a lot also. The only setback I see is that the 4-bedroom locator is here. Your master bedroom here might see a bit of your neighbor. It's a bit close. So just now the 3-bedroom, there's units that is facing outside. So of course you need to go and see what is the outside facing, how far is it, all these things. But here is mostly all blocked between each other.
Yes.
So how many units of 4-bedroom? Only 15
Also very little
units.
supply.
And Urbania is starting from $8 million.
Remember the time their sale price is already 6 million.
So based on 3002 calculation, this unit we are looking at maybe about close to 5. Which there's still quite a bit of differences between you and Urbania. Urbania one I think is about 2,000 square feet. I think this one everything is in except privately.
Yeah.
The big units I definitely think is something that you all can see and it's really nice. The small units I think we have done our explanation. So in terms of Opus, you can see that this round we are not talking a lot about numbers. A lot are on the finishes and what you are getting, how you are feeling. These are the important factors. But if you are really buying a freehold and 999 developments, the things that you are looking for will need to be a bit more different. Like example, recently she have sold a lot of units in key residences. The buyers there are all looking for different things.
Yeah, Key Residences is located in Sunset Way, so it's not very accessible in that sense. However, right, if you were to go and look at Key Residence's current transaction, the resale prices between the small 2-bedroom and the big unit type, right, it's about 400 PSF differences. Big units are rarely available, and once they are available, snatch up very fast. Small units are like taking some time to sell over there.
So that's why when we are talking about the 2-bedroom in Opus, we also ask you to focus on something that is very livable. The kitchen is not nice. I think these are the units we try to avoid. You need to have proper things for people that is coming in here. You don't think about, I'm going to rent out, because people want to buy 999 from you in future. They are not thinking about renting. How many people will buy a 999 to go and rent out? Nobody will do that.
Mostly for own stay.
Go in as an imagination that you are going to buy for own stay. Would you like this house? Then you go and think about the purchase. So for here, we have done our analysis for Opus, but I think it's going to be a very exciting quarter because there is Zion. River Green is coming out in August.
Yes.
Promenade is coming out in July. Grand Zion is coming out in maybe October. They are nearer to the MRT. Then there's one more plot that is by Guaco Land in River Green. We don't know the date yet. They haven't announced anything. So this is only for Zion area. But upcoming, there is still Springleaf, Canberra, Margaret Drive, Faber Crest. So there's quite a lot of projects that we are going to see in this year. But the main focus will be on Zion. And there will be a lot of comparison we are going to do here. So if you are looking for opportunity, I definitely think Zion area will be one of the best area that you can look at. Because why? The developers with so many units coming out, they will also be pricing more sensitively to all the buyers out there. We will talk more in our upcoming Zion videos.
Yes.
We'll see you soon in all our next video.
Yep. Okay. Goodbye.